Okay, welcome back. Now in this short video I'll give you everything you need to build your own Viking sword in tutorial, and I made it out of wood and spray paint and a few other things, and yeah, so that you can do it on your own. The first things you need obviously are information, how you want to do it, like in which size. This depends on your personal preferences. I chose to give the blade 80 centimeters and the handle 20, so 100 in total. This works perfectly fine for me, like not too short, not too long. And yeah, then what you need are two types of wood. Two of these, they are under a mattress, so not too rare, those types of wood, and they are already pretty thin, and so you don't have to take too much away of the wood. And then another type of wood, I took it from the broom. That works pretty good. And yeah, and once you got these here, I made sure that it's 80 and 20 centimeters. You can make it longer or shorter, and here are the ingredients you need. A saw, something to take away the wood, sandpaper, wooden glue obviously, and then you start. First I took off the tip so that I already got an idea for the wood, and then I actually changed the piece of wood I used for the handle. Like, simply take something off an old broom or something like this. This works perfectly fine. Then I sawed in to the center, around to the center, and here I made sure that it's kind of to the center, so half of it is cut and half of it is already stable, still stable. Then I made this thicker so that the blade will fit in just like that. Um, yeah, I think this might even be the hardest part out of the whole process. So if you manage to do it like this, then you're good to go. Simply take your time, but it's not too hard, I think, with a saw and then making it simply thicker. Yeah, so it started looking like this in the end. Um, doesn't need to be perfect, just that you have an idea for the beginning. Mm, and then I took off a few of these things here, little cuts, so that I would make it thinner where the handle will be, but don't take off everything, just a bit of it. Just like that, so that you leave some space here, because the handle will be thicker at this part and here will be thinner, so that the right hand has more to grab something, and it also is stable, because obviously here will be the weakest part, and if you take too much away from here, then in a hard swing or something like this it might break. So because this is connected, you want to let this part pretty hard. But there it already started looking pretty cool. Was pretty happy with this, and yeah. Then I took the second piece of wood, because it has, this is perfect because this has the same thickness like the other one, so this will be very good. Then I draw uh, what kind of shape I wanted to kind of for the protection, because actually first I didn't plan to make a Viking sword. First I wanted to make a normal knight sword. There you can choose freely, because now the first steps are for all types of sword, or for most types of sword. So this technique will be good for all. So this I cut it here and then here in the center, so that I ended up with these things. And then obviously now there's some space between these two, like here. And now this is perfect that it has like the same thickness, because now you can cut another one of these and lay it simply in between here, and now you have a perfect handle position. And afterwards you will glue them together, and then you're good to go. So right now it looks like a sort of European knights, or something like that. You can make it Roman, you could make it Greek, you can choose from this type, like make 10 of these, and each one can be then totally different. So for the next steps, you want what the saw remainings you want to take with you. They will be pretty handy in combination with the glue, with the wood glue. So take these with you when you go outside, because I did it outside, and yeah, like this, it looks like a sword. Because first of all, I wanted to glue everything together. Simply wood glue that works well. Here were the remainings of the saw, and some duct tape to fix everything. And also, this is not super necessary, but it helps. If you have it, then use it. If not, then use a heavy book or something, a stone or something, to simply to lay it on when you added the glue and press it on, because then no air will be in between, no bubbles, and then obviously the connection will be much better. So to summarize what we did until now, these are the parts you need. For all of these, it took me like 50 minutes or something. This is the hardest part. But if you saw one in here, or even two times saw in here, and then break the center part out, so that it fits perfectly. It doesn't have to fit super perfectly. Like if it's a little bit too tight or a little bit too thin, then this doesn't matter. Because you will add now glue in between here, anyways. Yeah, and this is, I think it's the best method, because the other method would be to have one main part of wood, which is kind of 3 times thicker, and then cut off one part in here, so that you can lay it on and then simply add a small piece of wood in here. Or another version would be another piece of wood 3 times thick, and kind of making a hole in here. But this is like super complicated, so that like the hole in this type, like samurai katanas would have most of the time, I think. But for like this, it's the easiest version, I'd say. Yeah, then I put it, simply some glue on it. I think there you don't need any instructions, just put everywhere glue and put them together. And these are the remainings of the saw, and they you can lay them on there, and everywhere where small holes are or whatever, you want to fill in glue, and then the saw remainings, and then you kind of, the connection between those two are really thick paste, which will harden, and then it will connect everything. And like here you see that there are like holes, and there you want to push in the saw remainings and the glue, and then after it dried, it's a really strong connection. It doesn't look to have to look good or anything, just add everywhere this combination. And then the protection, hand protection cross guard thing, I did as well, like in here everywhere glue, like this. Yeah. And then I fixed those things. Like if you don't have these things, then you simply want to lay it in, put some newspaper on it, and then a heavy book or something, because you want to add some pressure. If you don't do any pressure, then the glue will be in here with air bubbles and so on, and then the connection won't be that strong. So you really want to put some pressure. The duct tape I just used to kind of protect these things from the glue. And here up here, this was actually pretty handy, because it kind of made a yeah, the glue wouldn't run now at the sides, because the duct tape holds it in space. So I could put now on top of here glue, and then it would stay here and harden. So this was pretty good as well. Yeah, and so it looked at the end, and just like that I let it dry for a few hours. I would recommend that you do those steps till now in the evening, because then you can let it dry over the night. I did it in the morning, and obviously then it's annoying to wait, because you want to keep going. But the average wood glue dries in a few hours, and then you're good to go. Yeah, and then here I did some research over a few other swords to get kind of the idea what I wanted to do. Here I even thought about making the axe of Kratos. Um, but I ended up with this one. I think this is the Viking sword. Yeah, no, this is also, yeah. Maybe I'll do another one which looks like this, because it doesn't have too much decoration or anything. It looks really nice like this. Yeah, but this is what it looked like after drying. I took off these, yeah, with that stick it together. Already tried a bit of fighting around with it, and how the agility of it is and so on. Worked pretty well already. Yeah, and then I thought about which kind of sword I want to do, because till now you can do whatever type of sword you want to do, but from now you have to make a decision, because even here these two parts are longer, so you could make a really nice thin protection of your hand. But I chose to make a Viking sword now because I already made a lot of swords and never did a Viking sword, and because I'm looking Vikings right now on Amazon Prime again, the series. I thought it would be a pretty cool idea, and so I decided to cut here and here and make it really short, because apparently the Viking swords have really short protection here, cross protection, um, which is actually not too bad. I used to fight with these and then tried a few swings and so on, and this, the longer it is, the worse it gets, because when you swing it like in a circular motion, then it will touch your hand and really hurt. And this is why the laser sword of Kylo Ren in Star Wars is incredibly stupid, because he would cut his hand always. And like this, it won't touch your hand when you're like swinging it. Here, these are like the two parts from here and here that I cut off, and here you can really nicely see that because of the pressure, the glue kind of connected these. There's no way you can take these off again. So just take some normal wood glue and pressure it together, then it will have that strong connection. And this is like having one single piece of wood, meaning that it now are this is like one piece of wood now. Really strong combination. You don't need any nails in there to connect it or something like this. Glue is fully enough. And then I started thinking about the handle decoration. These are three things. They are pretty heavy, and I thought about making it at the end of the handle, so that I kind of have a weight at the end, and then the blade gets lighter, let's say it this way, and then it gives in total it gives a really nice swing motion. If there is a heavy part at the end of your handle, then the blade will be way easier to swing around, because the kind of the center of the weight is kind of where your hand is. At the end it was kind of here at this point, and yeah, that works pretty good. So I screwed a hole in here at the end, so that I could add, like with the screw, it in here. Obviously this is now personal preferences and what parts you have at home and what you want to do. If you simply want to do it out of wood or some whatever you have, works perfectly fine. Yeah, so it looked like this, and I was really happy with it. It gives a kind of sense of a realism, because obviously we don't want to let it be a wooden sword. We want to make it as realistic as possible. So this gave like as if it would have been forged. Here I found a few other metal parts, but unfortunately only one of these. If I would have had two of them, I would have used them, because like this it looks pretty cool, I think. I even found another part here. And from these two, I have two. So you can write in the comments whether you like this look, because at the other side I could have added this one as well. Maybe at another sword. We'll see. Yeah, and now comes kind of the creation of the blade. You simply sit in your garden and you simply start taking off wood at both sides, and until you have a nice blade. And there I can't really tell you how. Simply take off and take your time, and the longer you take, the better it will look at the end. Yeah, don't rush. And I mean, in the beginning it's hard, but eventually you will be at a point where you already took off a lot, and then it's really fun to kind of from here now taking even more of it. That's cool. Yeah, and just like that I started creating. Obviously you won't be able to make it super sharp, but now when I touch it and really put some pressure on both sides with my fingers, it starts hurting. So it's really, yeah. And now the sandpaper, um, yeah, just so that you don't have any small pieces of wood that stick in your finger when you go over it. So you really want your blade nice and clean. Here I looked again for a few inspirations, and I think a few of them are actually Viking swords, and all of them have like these heavy things at the end. I also looked at this series of Vikings again, and their the swords, all of them have like these heavy, yeah, things at the end, which is logic, because as I hope you understand it, like the heavier this part is, the easier this part will be. Or let's say, if right now, if this wouldn't be there, the center of the weight, if you would uh, put one finger and try to balance the sword, yeah, balance is nice, yeah. If you would have to balance the sword without this thing, the center point would be here, and this makes it incredible hard to fight and make fast moves with it. But the heavier this thing is, the more the center point of the balance goes into this direction. And because now our sword is out of wood, this is already pretty light in comparison to metal swords, obviously. And if you make this thing out of metal or of steel or whatever, just like I did, and it's really heavy, then the balance point might be really up here, and my balance point is exactly at this point. And this is why the sword, when you swing it, almost swings by itself. It's really nice. Makes it a really good sword, and really proud of it, and you can do it as well. Yeah, and so it started looking like this. Here I put a nail in it, but in the end I'll add some glue gun on it just to fix everything. Glue gun is like the best tool ever. I love glue gun because you can really give it some texture and fill in all the holes, and it's hard and connects everything. And yeah, oh yeah, here I started about making a nice handle, and I ended up taking these corners away. And yeah, this is also personal preference, I think. Like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, then in the end it started looking like this. Really happy with it. There you simply look in the internet for a design which you like, and then you start taking away of these. You can like draw the lines with a pencil and then take it away, or if you're a little bit more trained, then you don't need even the pencil. Then you can make it with a few tools that both sides look similar, because that's obviously the main point, that both sides are symmetrical. If not, you will be triggered. Yeah, but like this it looked, and really happy with this. Yeah. And here, by the way, the ring wasn't that fixed, but afterwards with the glue gun you'll fix it anyway in the position you want it, so it doesn't need to be perfect right now. Yeah, just like that, glue gun. And even though it's white, you'll add some spray paint on it in the end, so this doesn't matter that the glue gun has this kind of color. It's just about the texture it creates. Yeah. Here I started thinking about the handle, what I could do there, and I chose an old belt. And there I simply cut off a few parts of the belt and took it around and fixed it with glue gun. nothing special, but it looks good, and just like this, really clean and stable. And yeah, if it doesn't fit perfectly, and then it doesn't matter, you can add a string or just paint or whatever, and this doesn't matter at all. Here I added the string in the end as well, like on both sides. Yeah, in the end it looked like that. Hello. Yeah, like one side has this connection where the parts of the belts get glued on, but you will add spray paint on it, so this doesn't matter. And here I added some glue gun as well, so that it has like the same texture. Yeah, pretty cool. Don't know why it's not loading from time to time. And then I came to the probably the most important part, because until now it's a wooden sword. I mean, you can leave it like this, but like this, it's a toy, and now you want to add some realism. And I use the colors black, silver, and gold, and I and water. Like it rained while I was doing this, and I even had a spray can full of water, and I try to give it like an old look. But if you want to have like a modern nice sword, like in they are using it in Vikings in the Amazon series, then you can simply use a chrome spray paint and put it over all of this, and then it look really clean and nice. But I kind of wanted it to give a rusty shape. Like this is the spray with water, and you kind of spam black, silver, and glue on it like spray paint, so that it really is dripping. And then you add the water, and then it's kind of floating down. It really adds a nice old touch to it. Yeah, this obviously was already metal, but it was kind of too clean for what I wanted. But this is personal preferences. Like do whatever you want there. And here then you can see now that because of the several layers of spray paint and water added, it kind of has a rusty, really nice thing. Yeah, like this. Hello. Yeah. Obviously you want to add some duct tape on the handle, so that the spray paint won't touch the handle. But, yeah. And the photos aren't. Yes. I purposefully made some 4K photos so that you see the texture. Not really happy with it, but obviously this is personal preference. Whatever you like. Because I added the duct tape on it, it was really strong duct tape. I actually ripped off because it's a cheap belt. I ripped off something of the belt, but that wasn't a problem because I had brown spray paint, so I simply spray painted this. This is water. Yeah, so now it has a really nice brown color. Okay. And then I looked for a few decoration. These are like the runes of the Viking language. They can, yeah, create a few words and then write them on it. But this was kind of the final sort, and I'm pretty happy with it. Interesting design from the Vikings, that this is like smaller than what the knights of medieval knights used to have in Europe. But I'm really liking this type of sword. Like the gladiators from the Romans and Greeks had like shorter swords and maybe a little brighter blade, but they didn't have a long protection neither. Yeah, kind of interesting what kind of different types of blades the ancient people created. Here I added then a few strings because I didn't really like the parts of the glue gun here. Yeah, also personal preference what you take there. Not too important, I'd say, but yeah. and it's also nice for your hand. Like obviously you will touch here when you're fighting, and like the string is a good idea. Yeah, and then I added with an simply with an adding hello words. For me, I chose what did I? I can't read the runes now, but I think I chose freedom and peace or liberty or something like this. Obviously in German, but yeah, it doesn't really matter what's standing there. But I think it adds a nice detail to it. First I draw it with a pencil, but yeah, then in the end I simply did it with an adding. Here I wrote my name on it. This the other side. Yeah, pretty happy with it. Obviously you can also cut it like with a drill or something, and really cut into the blade to give it like a 3D shape. I already did this as well, but I mean it doesn't look bad, and yeah, why not? Yeah, and then the very last thing you have to do now, obviously after everything dried, um, you want to have a protection of the blade, something you can carry it with you. No idea how to say this in English, but kind of the thing you put it in. And for this I simply use some cardboard and like something like this, cut it out and do two of these like that. Whoa. And just like this, you add it around with some black paper, duct tape. Like this is like a very good idea. I have this in white, in black, in silver, from both sides, gluing, and yeah, you can never have enough of duct tape. And this is like the tip. Here I added cardboard like this, and then you have like the tip, and don't make it too loose, but also not too tight, so that the sword kind of slides in. Yeah. Then the remaining parts I added the black duct tape, and now that I use the black string kind of connects to this. At first I thought about making it brown, spraying it brown, but I think black is better. Also that the signs are in black looks better. Yeah, that's pretty much the final product, except obviously you want to carry it with you. So I used another older belt and simply duct tape it in a nice angle. So don't make it like 90 degrees, make it a little bit more. There you simply put the belt on, and then you hold this thing on your hip, I think hips, and you look so that you can really nicely carry it with you. And yeah, then that's pretty much it. Done. Yeah, it's decorative or even usable. Like, don't know what you want to fight with, but we, if you other people around you have this swords as well, then obviously you can try a few fight moves from Star Wars or other franchises where they are fighting a lot, Vikings and so on, and or you simply put it on your wall, and then you have a realistic decorative sword, and without much work. Like in total, of really working, it took less than 2 hours, I'd say, or around 1 hour. And obviously in between you have to dry the spray paint and the glue. And this is really important, that it's really fully dry. If not, you will break it when you're kind of like sawing or something, and the glue isn't dry, then you will simply rip it off, and that would be shame. But yeah, really happy with it, and I hope that I could kind of inspire you with this. And if you liked it, then let me know it. And yeah, then I'll catch you in the next one. See you. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.